Let's move on. What's the next subject?
If you want to move on, then the next subject coming up is the fact that there's going to be a hearing in the NFL concerning the Ray Rice situation, and the commissioner is apparently scheduled to speak.
Yeah.
Will it get to that point?
And the lawyers, from what I've read for Mr. Rice, are absolutely compelling the commissioner to give testimony at the hearing.
Well,
did you hear the same thing, Billy?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he has to at least discuss the interview process he's had with Ray Rice. But I remember back in the day when we started this whole thing, there was going to be a time where the commissioner was going to have to sing. He has to sing a little song about why he completely disregarded the tapes that were available to him.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think that's the big smoking gun. Why the commissioner, how he's going to handle that, that's very detrimental. That's a smoking gun. How he's going to address, if I was him, I'd tell the truth. That there was a plea bargain made between law enforcement and Mr. Rice, and once that was done, he felt it was not necessary. That's the truth.
But Goodell has already kind of doubled down on the fact that Ray Rice's ban came because of the video inside the elevator, which the league considered new evidence. But every other outlet seems to be in agreement that Roger Goodell knew of that tape before then and just wanted to swipe it under the rug.
But that's the whole point of this, Carlin. Goodell was told by his people, by his subordinates, by the casino, by the police, that they made the actual surveillance tape that was in the elevator and that was in the foyer where they walked just before, that picked them up, was made available to him, and he did not he didn't choose to take it.
Right? Yeah,
and did not have that in their possession. So my advice to him, if I was his lawyer, say tell the truth. Say that he felt that it was not necessary to view the tape because there was a plea bargain and the police had charged them, right? And it was a big fat mistake on his part for not looking at it.
Well, I'm not convinced that he hadn't looked at it. I think maybe that's my point here, is that I think he knew full well what was on that tape.
Maybe you're correct, Carlin, but according to the news, according to what has been written, is the NFL office never asked for a copy of the tape. They knew that the tape existed. It was offered to them by the casino, and they did, and also the police said that they had it. And what's been written, I really don't know the truth because I wasn't there. I'm just going by and regurgitating what's on the internet, social media, and what the press has said, that he never looked at the tape. He knew about the tape, and he said he did not know about the tape. He did not know the existence of a tape. That was his in this soap opera was one of the statements that came from his office, that he didn't know that this tape existed, and the casino said bullshit. We told the NFL right away that we had the tape, and they'd be more than happy to share it with the NFL.
The AP has reported. The AP has reported, a law enforcement source says that he gave NFL the video and it was mailed specifically to the head of security for the NFL. And if the head of security watches that videotape, which I have no reason to believe that he wouldn't, of course his next call is going to be to Roger Goodell. So the fish are a little bit rotten in Denmark there.
Well,
wait, guys.
Okay, wait a sec. Phil, you want to say something about this?
Me, I just want to say, what do we hear about Voinov?
There's another story in and of itself. The fact that Slava Voinov has been suspended indefinitely by the NHL, and yet his lawyer, suspended with pay, his lawyer is saying that this is all about some miscommunication. There's misunderstanding, partly caused by the couple's limited English, which is, I don't know where
at 3:45 in the morning? I don't think so.
There's a lawyer coming up with...
But Phil, hear me out. I'm not defending him, and I really don't know the ins and outs or the ABC of what exactly happened. The allegation is that there was domestic abuse, and it was enough for him to be charged. And the NHL is taking it very serious, right? I mean, that's what his
my feeling is, though, Frankie? Even with the Ray Rice thing and the woman...
Ray Rice had that blatant tape. There's no...
But wait a minute. There's no charge from the woman. There's no charge.
Doesn't matter. You do not need in a court of law, in a criminal proceedings, a charge when you have blatant, irrevocable evidence of a man giving a right cross and knocking a woman down to the ground. You do not need anybody to give evidence. The number one...
There's no... but there's no criminal going on here.
I agree with you. I said that the other day. I said that the judicial process should go from A to Z. But here's my question to all you guys. This is what the fuck I want to ask you guys. The police saw the tape. Why did the police plea bargain with Rice?
Who knows?
Hello.
That's just the way it is, because maybe he's an NFL star.
The question is, Frank, why did the Canadian government seek a plea bargain with Karla Homolka? Same thing, right? There's reasons why they do these things.
You know what, Perry? You fucking guys say shit that's completely bizarre. They knew that they couldn't get Paul Bernardo without her testimony because they had no evidence. They only found the snuff tapes after the fact. If they would have found the snuff tapes before, there's no fucking way they would have made a deal with Karla Homolka. But they knew that the only way to make to have some sort of conviction for the serial rapist, serial killer, was to get an eyewitness, and the best eyewitness was Karla Homolka. So you cannot fucking compare the fucking two.
You just
what
asked.
I'm saying to you is that the police were privy to the very dramatic piece of evidence, very compelling, irrevocable. You cannot. I mean, the cinematography, if it was a movie, is bang on. So, pardon the pun. And I'm telling you, my question is, I know Goodell is on the hot seat, and I know that a lot of the shit. But what was the police thinking who saw this tape and they made a deal? Explain that to me. How would they do that?
Well, if the woman...
How do you know they made a deal? Did they?
That's what
criminally speaking, they did.
I thought that it was dealt with. Maybe I misread it. Maybe I'm a moron. But before the tape went public, I read. Did I misread this, guys? Wasn't there some sort of admission to guilt, bomb suspended, boom, boom, boom? Wasn't there something? Wasn't it dealt with judicially?
Yeah, there was. He got no jail time. I'm just re-looking it up again here, but
I'm correct. I read that it was dealt with. It was dealt with, and that's why Goodell said fine.
Yeah, basically he got anger management counseling, and that was about it. You know, the other point there is too is if even if you're saying that there's this tape that exists without a willing witness such as the woman to come forward and say I want this guy prosecuted, it's difficult. There's only so much you can do.
If there was no tape, you would be 100% correct in the United States. In Canada, it's a little different. If the police believe that they have a case, and the police believe that they can convict you without the smoking gun being the woman or the man that's in the domestic abuse. But here, the smoking gun is the tape. They do not need a witness because they have a witness. You know who the fucking witness is? A camera. And that's the best witness known to mankind. You cannot change it. You cannot justify. You cannot rationalize. The camera shows exactly what happened. And my question again, and we're all skirting from that, is why the police and the prosecutor, with an unbelievable piece of evidence like that, would do a plea bargain, and then after the fact, when this tape becomes public, then everybody jumps on the bandwagon.
What's the plea?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Frank, I'm reading Bloomberg's right now, and I'm quoting Joseph Hayden, who is a defense lawyer in New Jersey for 45 years, not involved in the case though. Quote, "The victim didn't want this prosecuted. She's married to him. I'm not excusing the conduct. It's inexcusable, but the wishes of the victim normally count for first-time offenders."
I agree.
Okay, that's a fucking lawyer talking out of his asshole, and he's trying to get business for anybody else who beats the shit out of their wife. So that's bullshit. What I'm fucking telling you is this. the police, and we can bring people from the United States who's in law enforcement. We can get some law enforcement. And they're going to tell you that they need a witness. They need a witness. So usually when the witness
let's get the fucking people on. Because that's what he just said. Carlin is right on.
No, he's not. And stop talking out of your fucking ass because you're going to piss me off, too. He's regurgitating what some fucking defense lawyer said.
You're right. The rest of us are fucking wrong.
Either you or the defense lawyer, Frank. Who should we listen to?